Do you remember the winter of 2022? Most people don't. Really wasn't that memorable, other than interest rates had just gone way up. We were used to 2-3% interest rates for 2 years through COVID. And then this is when the Fed raised interest rates. We went from 3 to like 8% pretty much overnight. But nobody seems to talk about what we saw here in the local market in 2022. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I think we're going to see something similar in the next coming months. And if you want to get on that opportunity, what we're calling this, and I see this as, is a window of opportunity that's not going to last very long because it's going to turn back in the other direction very fast. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. I'm a team leader and owner of Onyx Homes. We're a real estate sales team that has helped over 770 people move all over Southern California just since 2020. Now, I make these videos and this channel all about Orange County just so that we can help you make your next move a little bit easier so you can make a better decision. Now, if I go back to the winter of 2022, what had just happened is we saw the biggest rush of price increases ever in the history of the planet. Everybody in the world wanted to buy a house, and it was mayhem. There's no other two ways to put it. And then interest rates went from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4 to like 8% pretty much overnight. And every winter, we see prices pull back. It happens every single year. Prices go up on a chart like this. And what ends up happening is averaged out over time, prices go up until about July or August, and then they start tailing downwards the last few months of the year. And then January, they keep going right back up. And if you look at it and you zoom way out, it looks like a slow and gradual incline of prices going up 3 to 5% a year. In Orange County, it's more like 5% a year. Yes, there's down years and all that, but like on average, it goes up by 5% per year. But if you zoom in a little bit closer, its prices go up from January to July or August. And then from July or August to December, it starts to tail down, meaning prices actually dip in the last few months of the year before going right back up again in January. Now, from the whole year, prices end up, but there's this window of opportunity every single winter, and we haven't seen as big of one as I think we see coming now since the winter of 2022. Last year, we didn't really have a winter because so many sellers pulled their homes off the market altogether. And the year before that, it was still competitive. So what do I see happening right now? And there's a few indicators for this. Number one, inventory is up. However, there's two different markets as we've been talking about. So homes are still selling fast if they're selling. There are homes that aren't selling at all. That's a whole nother story. But there's still a competitive market on one side. But every winter we see prices pull back. And in the winter of 2022 in Orange County, we saw prices pull back to the tune of about 10 to 15% depending on the area. And on average, it was somewhere right in between there for Orange County. And that's a big pullback from, let's say, August to December. A 15% price drop is massive. However, in January, February, we're right back up to that price point. So it's not like prices really dropped. There were just way better deals that time of the year. Now, again, this happens every year. So before you freak out and like the Christians saying the market's crashing, like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the winter's always a great time to buy relative to the rest of the year. And then prices go up in January. And I see this as a window of opportunity right now. I see this as a massive opportunity for anybody that's in the position of buying and selling. We have a lot of clients that are taking advantage of this right now, and it has not been easier than this in at least the last 5 years. So you are able to sell for a fantastic price because we're still at all-time high pricing, and you can buy for a screaming deal if you know what you're looking for. And where I see most people totally missing out is they are sitting on the sidelines and just kind of like twiddling their thumbs, not really paying attention to the market, and just saying like, let's just wait and see what goes on. I'm all for you waiting and seeing what's going on, but here's my advice is to stay educated on what is actually happening, right? So what we're seeing right now is sellers are just holding their house off of the market because their neighbor's house isn't selling. Well, just because your neighbor's house isn't selling, they might have hired somebody that sold one house in the last 3 years that has no idea what they're doing. And you could list your house correctly and it will sell. And this is the story of the two different markets that we're talking about, is if you do anything wrong on your listing, if it doesn't look good, if it's not priced right, and if it's not marketed well, it will not sell. You'll get zero activity. But if it does look good, if it is priced right, it is marketed well, you still can get multiple offers and sell it above asking price, which is what we are doing for a lot of our clients right now. And it is an anomaly in the marketplace because so many sellers are still overpricing, under marketing, and under preparing their home for sale. So the reason I want to make this video is that if you are thinking about making a move in the next 12 to 24 months, 12 months, let's say, really take a hard look at what is going to happen over this next few months. You're going to see monthly market updates come out where you're going to start to see prices tipping down off of their peak, which again happens every year. Cannot emphasize that enough. And there's a lot of talk right now of interest rates going down next year. So there's this combination of, is this a window of opportunity right before we see interest rates come down and this massive pent-up buyer demand floods the market? Because here are the people that are sitting on the sidelines waiting that are sellers. They are sitting on 3% interest rates and they don't want to sell. They don't need to sell. They might want to sell. They don't want to sell bad enough to sell from a 3% rate into a 7% rate. But they will definitely sell a 3% rate for a 5% rate or a 6% rate. And that affordability difference is going to get people off. So there is going to be this massive wave. I'm not saying prices are going to skyrocket because I don't think we're going to see prices skyrocket when rates come down. What I do know is going to happen is there's going to be a lot of movement because there's a lot of people that bought during COVID and had to compete against 20 other offers. And there's surveys all over the place that said, I don't know, 70% of people that bought a home during COVID hate their house and they only bought it because it was the only thing they could actually get their offer accepted on. There's a lot of people that were in that situation. I feel bad for them. And they feel stuck because they're in a 2.5%, 3% interest rate. They don't want to upgrade. It's not affordable. Like they want to upgrade, but financially it doesn't make sense. So there's so many people that are in that position that are going to be moving. There's a lot of people that the normal first-time home buyers are going to be coming to the market, and there's going to be a landslide of people that are going to want to cash out, seeing another opportunity, right? There's a lot of people with tons and tons of equity that have bought a house 5 years ago at the beginning of the market, or even longer, obviously, and they're going to want to cash out some equity, and that's going to be a really good time to do it. There's going to be a lot of activity. So the reason that I share this is if you're thinking at all about moving in the next year, next 12 months, this next 5-month window, it's really going to be like 120 days from right now at the time you're watching this until December, January 5th, this will be gone. And what I mean by this is all of these listings that they don't look good, they're not priced right, they're not marketed well, these are screaming deals for the next 5 months. They're just going to sit and sit and sit and get price drops and price drops and price drops. And you need to go, if you're a buyer, you need to go look physically at these houses in person prior to the price drop. I can't emphasize this enough. We had a client that wanted to see it. They saw a house they liked a lot, been on the market for a long time relative to market. And they were like, I would buy, I'll make up numbers. The house was listed for $1.5 million, and they were like, I love this house, but I would never pay $1.5 million. I'd buy it for $1.4 million, and then they dropped the price to $1.4 million, and then it sold for $1.45 million. When I can almost guarantee that if they would have just wrote the offer for $1.4 million, they probably would have got the deal, and they would have got a better deal than the person who actually bought it. This happens all the time. So don't wait for price drops. If you see a house that's on the market, and your agent should be guiding you through this. This is something we are exclusively talking about with our clients all the time, is once a house gets to slightly above that average days on market, we should start to look at okay, we need to price in the price drop with our offer. And we want to do that before the actual offer itself. Now, if you're a seller, our strategy right now is to prep the house. Because it looks good, priced right, marketed well. But when I say priced right, so it looks good relative to price, that's the big thing there, is you don't have to remodel your house. You don't have to do all the things. We just sold a house in Anaheim, and I'll just say this, needed a lot of work. And if we would have just put it on the market, it would have looked like a flip, like only investor-ish opportunity. Versus we go in and spend $5 or $6 grand, and we fronted the money. We spent this. We fronted the money for our client, put $5,000 into the house, and probably sold for $50,000 to $100,000 more than otherwise would have, with just a little bit of prep. And we priced it correctly, and we know how to market. So many people saw this house, 2 weeks on the market, which is half the average time, multiple offers, over asking price, easy closed deal for the client. And this is the kind of stuff we do with all of our clients that are looking to make a move. And even if you're not sure, you can book a discovery call with our team. You can just go to allaboutoc.com, click the link in the description below. We would be happy to walk you through what your different options are, whether you hire us or not, totally up to you. Use our free expertise. We've helped over 180 people halfway through this year already move. So we just want to extend that for you as well too. So this is what we see going on the market right now. There is a window of opportunity that is just starting to open, and I want to help you get through it if you're looking to make a move. So I hope you found this valuable. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Again, thanks for watching.